Welcome to our channel Heroic Mazi. Top 9 countries open for tourism in this pandemic. Number 9. Dominican Republic. Another gem of the Caribbean Sea, the Dominican Republic has resumed international travel from all countries. It is mandatory to present a negative PCR test certification taken within the previous 72 hours before travel. Arrivals, except from the UK, can continue with their travel plans without being bogged down by quarantine. Passengers must complete an electronic ticket and generate a QR code, which must be presented upon arrival. Its pristine beaches, the pride of the country, are open for all to visit, making the Dominican Republic one of the best destinations for a sunbathing vacay. Number 8. Egypt. The wait is over for those eager to explore the mystical pyramids of Giza. Egypt is now allowing international passengers quarantine-free. As a precautionary measure, everyone has to take a pre-departure test within 72 to 96 hours of boarding, depending upon origin. Travelers from extremely high-risk countries will have to take a second test on arrival, but even they are not expected to quarantine. Museums, temples, and archaeological sites have been opened to tourists by the government, so it is possible to see Egypt's most famous sites. Number 7. Maldives. Another famous archipelago in the Indian Ocean, this one known for idyllic, laid-back, luxury vacations. Maldives has ambitious plans of vaccinating visitors once its resident population is immunized. As of now, the scattered country is receiving travelers, without asking those vaccinated to quarantine, provided they are traveling to an island where 60% of the population is fully vaccinated. A negative PCR certificate issued no more than 96 hours prior to departure is still requisite for all unvaccinated passengers. Passengers must complete a traveler health declaration 24 hours before departure. The government is primarily relying on the fact that guests usually prefer to lounge and relax in the private overwater huts and villas. Nonetheless, most of the islands can be visited. Number 6. Seychelles. Keen on reviving its mainstay, the tourism sector, this jaw-droppingly beautiful archipelago off the coast of Africa has started welcoming visitors from every part of the world, as long as they have had a negative PCR test performed within 72 hours of departure. No quarantine is required. Travelers will have to obtain a health travel authorization, have travel insurance that covers COVID-19 related care. Most places of tourist interest, beaches, nature trails, cultural attractions such as the Botanical Gardens, Mission Lodge and Victoria Market are all accessible to tourists, albeit with new protocols and time of operation. To avoid any disappointments, it is recommended that you contact these establishments before visiting. Number 5. Liberia. The West African nation, boasting less than 10 cases a day, is open to travelers not only from ECOWAS, but the rest of the world as well. Passengers need to carry a medical certificate with a negative coronavirus PCR test issued at most 7 days before departure, or will be subject to a test upon arrival at their own expense. Quarantine and self-monitoring are required only if test positive. You must download the Liberia Travel app and complete a health screening arrival form. The country is gradually opening up its economy too, so public places and tourist spots are now welcoming guests. Number 4. Belize. Nestled along the Caribbean shorelines, Belize is now a viable option for tourists seeking the unspoiled beauty of Central America. The country has done away with mandatory quarantine, except if you test positive in the random screening conducted at airports. Fully vaccinated passengers are exempt even from taking an RT-PCR test 96 hours before boarding. All arriving residents and non-residents must download the Belize Health mobile application and fill in the details before travel. Visitors are required to stay at Gold Standard hotels. They are also advised to tourism-safe corridor comprised of Gold Standard certified restaurants, tour operators, tourism sites and attractions, and gift shops. There are no restrictions on movement though. Number 3. United Arab Emirates Dubai. Entry requirements: proof of negative test and/or a possible additional test on arrival, with a self-quarantine at your hotel or other residence for around 24 hours until results come back. Some arrivals will not be tested on arrival and they will not need to self-quarantine at all. Arriving passengers must also download a special COVID-19 app. At the moment, many nationalities can obtain a visa on arrival, but only when arriving in Dubai. Number 2. Costa Rica. The country blessed with the Caribbean on one side and the Pacific on the other, Costa Rica is a backpacker's paradise. The country has now opened up to tourists worldwide, with no testing or quarantine regulations. They must, however, acquire travel insurance that covers lodging up to $2,000 in the event of quarantine, as well as medical expenses of at least $50,000 due to contracting COVID-19, and complete a health pass online. National parks and beaches, which the country is famous for, and other open space public venues in the country are now open till 6 p.m. Restaurants and bars too serve customers till 11 p.m. Number 1. Mexico. The country tourist-friendly policy has made its popularity as a travel destination grow multifold in recent times. The country welcomes travelers from all countries, with no mandatory testing or quarantine requirements. However, you'll be subject to health screening on arrival, and those exhibiting symptoms of COVID-19 may be asked to test quarantine. All passengers have to fill an online Questionario de Identificación de Factores de Riesgo en Viajeros form and present it on arrival. As of the 10th of June, no state is in the red zone. Although Cancun and Tulum are in the orange zone, most other destinations are in the green zone, which means the tourism sector will be functioning as usual. Please note that the land borders between Mexico and the US, Belize and Guatemala are still closed. Entry is possible by air only. Thank you for watching. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe.